Welcome to the official press conference for FloGrappling. Who's number one? The return of Gordon Ryan. I'm Professor Hollywood Mike, and this press conference is presented by Fat Tire Beer. For years, the team at Fat Tire has worked to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, transition to renewable energy, and fund research into climate-resilient crop varieties. They've also donated nearly $17 million to nonprofits working on climate solutions and land and water conservation. Now they've taken another big step forward. After nearly 3 decades of striving to reduce their impact, Fat Tire is proud to be America's first certified carbon-neutral beer. All right, go get some Fat Tire and watch this event. I'm here with the first 2 athletes. One nice thing about wearing sunglasses, you can't tell I'm looking down at a piece of paper the entire time. All right, I'm here with the first 2 athletes of the event. So as always, it's going to be 8 matches. First 3 are going to be free on our Facebook and YouTube, just like you're watching this press conference right now. So the first match of the night, a featherweight matchup, will be Damian Anderson on my right from New Wave Jiu-Jitsu, Estevan Martinez from ZR Team on my left. First off, Estevan, I want to ask about you, because I get a lot of DMs about who athletes people want to be on the show, and people are always hitting me up about you. What is so exciting about you? Why do the fans love you so much that you think everybody wants you to be on this event?
I think everybody loves me because I always put on a good show. Always bring the heat. I just do my best every time.
All right, fair enough. So Damian, so you went to the Who's Number One championship last month. You had a rough time, but against some of the best in the world, 0-2. I mean, what have you changed up? What are you doing differently? You think things are gonna be different for you this time around?
As far as the Who's Number One championship, I mean, I don't want to make excuses, man. You know, Josh Cisneros and Diego Pata, those guys obviously are some of the best 145ers in the world. But as everybody knows, you know, we were moving from Puerto Rico to Austin, and I was actually living at my parents' house for a month in Oklahoma. I didn't even have a training camp. I wasn't with my coaches, but Ethan had pulled out, and then you guys gave me the call that, you know, the Who's Number One championship was coming up. So, you know, I kind of let my ambitions get the best of me there. I knew it wasn't the smartest thing to go into such a high-level tournament without a true training camp, but, you know, I wanted the opportunity. I didn't want it to slip through my fingers and have that what-if situation. But either way, it was a lesson that I had to learn, that when I'm going against the true best in the world, I have to respect them like they are the best in the world, and I have to put a true training camp in. So since that tournament, I've had, you know, a good training regimen where, you know, I'm training multiple times a day. I'm learning and progressing with my coaches, and so you won't see that mistake again. You know, when you saw me fight Luis Quinones, when you saw me fight at Emerald City Invitational, I had true training camps, you know, 4-week training camps beforehand, getting ready for that rule set. But for the Who's Number One, man, it was like I was, luckily, thank you to, you know, Professor Lovatos, that was the only place where I can get some high-level training, but even there, primarily gi, right? You know, so we were doing no-gi a few times a week, and then I had to travel around. I trained at a place called The Forge, which is like, you know, some small gyms around in the area, but I wasn't able to train with my coach getting prepared for the rule set. So you'll see a big change now.
All right, talking about high-level competitors, Estevan, 2021 no-gi world champion at black belt, the Giant Slayer, the Big Show himself. So Estevan, what do you think sets you apart compared to Damian's previous opponents on Who's Number One? What's different about you?
I'm more technical, faster, stronger than I look, small. So that's gonna be a different. I don't know if he's felt someone as small as me before and as strong as me. And I'll fight anybody. I'm not afraid. So
Anytime, any place.
Yeah.
All right, Damian, so what are you thinking about after this match? Let's say you win this match. What would you be looking at next after this one?
Man, I mean, I got bumped up to number 5 at 145, and then I got bumped back down to number 7. So, I mean, my whole thing, everybody that follows me knows, is I'm trying to climb the ranks to number 1. So I don't care who it is, as long as they're ranked higher than me. You know, this match was actually supposed to be me versus Keith Krikorian. Was I able
You
to
can
say
say that. It's
okay,
fine.
yeah. So it's supposed to be me versus Keith Krikorian, but you know, something happened where, you know, the match wasn't able to happen. And he's ranked 1 above me. So anybody that's, you know, I don't care. I mean, Gianni, Kennedy, Josh Cisneros, Diego Pata, Gabe Souza, you know, any of those guys that are ahead of me, man, I need to fight them. I need to start climbing these ranks. You know, Keith pulled out, but then obviously on Who's Number One, you want the exciting matches. So then when we needed an opponent, there was either Esteban Martinez or another guy that is more my size, but I don't know who that partner or who that guy really is. And it's like when I look at Esteban Martinez, we competed at Emerald City Invitational on the same card, and in my opinion, I was the most exciting match, or everybody was there kind of to see me for that match just because it was like my hometown. But everybody also said, dude, that guy Esteban Martinez was killing it. He was doing backflips, doing cartwheels, not afraid of anybody, and he was smaller than everybody. So it's like when I heard that I could potentially go against him, I was like, oh, dude, for Who's Number One, that's a sick matchup, man. Like that's gonna be such an exciting match. And then it also helps that he just won Worlds, man. So it's the match actually ended up probably being better than Keith Krikorian, in my opinion, as far as the styles matchup. This is gonna be fireworks for this one.
Yeah, it's a perfect match for Who's Number One for our rules. As we always say, we want to put the most exciting athletes on. Let's kick it over to CJ in the back. What's going on with the YouTube chat, the Discord? They got any fans for the athletes or any questions for the athletes?
Yeah, man. We made sure to get some questions beforehand, so I'm going to shoot some of your guys' way. Damien, first one for you. Esteban had brought it up. He's obviously a little bit smaller than a lot of the competitors that we have on here. Certainly smaller than Luis Quinones. For your entries, because I know that you're always like finisher first, always trying to end the match early, how does that affect the entries that you do or don't use, or is it, you got to kind of throw that by the wayside and play your game?
So you want me to explain my game plan in
Tell
front
him.
of my
Yeah,
opponent?
tell Esteban.
Please do.
Yeah. So,
Esteban can't wait to hear.
So I mean, for this one, this is going to be different. This is although I'm always looking for the finish, for this one I have to tactically change up my game a bit. So usually I'm always looking for a lot of leg entries, then coming up on top of those leg entries, as you saw with my match against Richard Alarcon. With him being so small, I'm going to have to use my size a bit more. I'm going to have to put a little bit more pressure and try to control him a bit more. In my opinion, I feel Esteban does the best when there's a lot of movement. He's a great scrambler. Whereas if you look at somebody like a Gordon Ryan, when Gordon's not a big scrambler, he's more of a controlling person. If you look at somebody like Gary's a big scrambler, and not vice versa. So I think the weakness for Esteban is like if the game can be controlled, then I have a better shot. If Esteban can do a good job of scrambling, then he'll have the advantage. So I believe the route to victory for him is more so control rather than these high scrambles that usually I participate in.
Esteban, you think that's accurate? That if he locks it down,
I'm gonna scramble. I'm scrambling.
Yeah, he's a killer, man. Like
Tasmanian
honestly, like he's small, so like people are saying like, oh, like he weighs less than me or he's shorter than me. Man, like that's literally the only thing that's small about this guy. Like he's all over the place doing backflips, cartwheels, attack and submission. This is gonna be crazy.
I'm ready to flip and scramble. I'm flipping.
Yeah.
all right, Connor, we got a question for Esteban in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Esteban, you've been really tearing it up, especially on the IBJJF scene. But one of the things that can come from an IBJJF scene is people maybe aren't as aggressive as they would be on Who's Number One. Are you excited about having an opponent not only in Damien that's finisher first, that's always going for the kill, but also the rule set, and how does that change how you approach the match?
I like the rule sets. It's kind of, I don't have to worry about points so much as more as like my offense, and I like to be offensive. And if I'm defensive, I'll try to reverse defense into offense right away. And yeah, I just like to keep it moving and put on some moves,
Yeah, more backflips,
flips, spins, and yeah, just make it a dizzy match.
Awesome.
All right, Esteban Martinez trying to scramble tomorrow night when he meets Damian Anderson in the very first match. This one will be free on our Facebook and YouTube, first prelim of the night. All right, up next will be Brianna St. Marie and Bree Robertson. the evening, just like the last one. It's going to be free on our Facebook and YouTube. Brianna St. Marie, on my right, from Brazilian top team in where? Montreal? Is that where
Yeah, Montreal, Canada.
And then Bree Robertson from 10th Planet out in California. So this is going to be the second match. It's going to be a really exciting women's flyweight match. So this is the first question I have here for you. This is both of your first time on Who's Number One. We sort of picked you guys because you're exciting. We like exciting fighters. Does it feel rewarding to be recognized for your aggressive styles, and does that motivate the way you plan to compete tomorrow night? Are you going to go out there and try to put a show on?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like, I've been watching this promotion since it started, and it's kind of become a new goal of mine to be on the circuit, and kind of a way to climb up the ranks and get recognized for my grappling. So I'm super excited to go out there and put on a show.
Oh, I'm just humbled that someone thinks I'm exciting. I don't know. It's nice to be recognized in that sense.
Somebody put these questions in here. Why did they put, Brianna, what is your favorite Shakespearean work? Is there something associated with you?
Me.
With you?
Okay.
All right.
Oh, yeah, for some reason, I'm just known for Shakespeare. I went to drama school. I like to brag about that because I just think it's interesting. What was the question? Something about Shakespeare?
What's your favorite Shakespearean work? Shout out Corey Stockton prepared these questions for me. I don't know why I got a left field with that one.
Shakespearean work.
You could just make some shit up and I wouldn't. You'd fool me.
To be or not to be? That is the question. Oh my god. It's been a hot minute.
Pulp Fiction.
I always like A Midsummer's Night Dream. It's very whimsical and magical.
Classic one.
Yeah.
All right.
Mistress with the Monster is in love. Yeah.
I didn't see that shit coming at all. Corey, shout out to Corey that knows all this stuff about. All right, let's go over to CJ and see what the fans are saying about this match. We got any questions for the girls?
Yeah, and these actually come from me. So you guys have kind of been making your bones on two separate scenes, especially in the last year or so. Bree, I know that you've been really killing it on Fight to Win, and Brianna, we actually just saw you at Nogi Worlds. Two very different rule sets. Now you guys are meeting in the middle on Who's Number One rule set. Just curious, how do you guys think
You
that?
just won combat jiu-jitsu too, right?
Yeah.
Oh, geez, that's horrifying. Yeah, but anyway,
There's no slaps in this match, okay?
Thank God. But I'd love to hear how you guys think those rule sets and your guys' familiarity with them is going to come into play here. And I guess, Bree, if you want to start us off.
Well, the Who's Number One rule set isn't that different from Fight to Win rule set, so actually it's very favorable to me. So the only difference is that I guess the production and the time limit. But other than that, I just think it's pretty familiar. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of just try to compete in whatever rule set is available to me. So I think I'll be able to, I mean, like when I wanted to go on combat jiu-jitsu, I hadn't done any striking before, and I adapted. So I think even though I've never done the kind of like 15-minute submission-only matches, I'm hoping that I'll be able to adapt to it. And then I'm usually pretty submission-oriented, so hopefully it'll go well.
All right, before we go on to the next one, I want to ask you guys a question because these prelims are sort of about, getting the up-and-coming people's names out there, getting people to see your exciting jiu-jitsu. I'll go with Bree first and then Brianna. Tell the fans what they can expect, what your style of jiu-jitsu is like, what they can expect when they tune in tomorrow.
Well, I always like to think that my style of jiu-jitsu is very creative, so I always go into a match not really having too much of an expectation. I kind of have like some ideas of what submissions I'd like to go for, some ideas of what I'd like to avoid, but more or less I kind of just go there, blank canvas, and just ready to paint whatever comes my way. So that's kind of how I would describe my style. And then on top of that, a little bit of athleticism, a little bit of creativity, a little bit of flexibility, and I like to think that I have a very hyper awareness of how my body operates. So I'm very creative, and I like to make my own moves in the moment, I guess.
Cool. I guess a little less exciting. I like to slow down the match. I like to use a lot of pressure. I like to kind of just bring things into like my domain and make the match something that I'm comfortable with. I don't like to go places necessarily that, I know that they'll have the upper hand. I know that sounds pretty boring, but usually works out for me. So.
All right, this is going to be a hell of a match, just like our first one, Esteban versus Damien. All three of our prelims are just going to be fire matches. That's why we put them together. They're going to be free on our Facebook and YouTube. Make sure you tune in. Up next will be Hunter Colvin and Jacob Couch. All right, this is the third and final prelim of the evening. These ones will be free on Facebook and YouTube. And as I said earlier, it's all brought to you by Fat Tire Beer. Make sure you go get some Fat Tire Beer for this event. On my left, we have Hunter Colvin. On my right, Jacob the Hillbilly Hammer Couch. So Hunter was originally slated to go against Pedro Mourinho in this match, but then Pedro got hurt at Nogi World when double goal couch slides. And what do you think when I hit you up to offer you couch as a replacement?
Hey, I'm willing to go against anybody and everybody. Everyone at this level's tough. Everyone at this level's game. So the opponent change really doesn't make that much of a difference to me.
Couch, you're one of my guys. I can slide in at a moment's notice. You're always ready, huh? You're taking it. You Who's Number One championship. You took on like 2 or 3 days' notice. Took third. How you feeling going into this match with Hunter on about a week's notice or so?
I feel really excited, man. You know, Hunter's super tough. He's got like a super action-packed game. So a good scrap is always pretty enticing.
All right, let's kick it over to Connor with the questions from YouTube and Discord. Connor, what's going on online?
Yeah, man. Hunter, question for you. How much of Couch's matches have you seen before? How much of any of the other supporting material we've put out there? And what do you think about his style going into it, especially compared to yours?
Yeah, I think he has an action-packed style as well. He's always hunting the submission. I have known of him for a while, but I haven't really got to watch any of his game until as of late with his Nogi World performance and his last performance at the last Who's Number One. Like I said, he's not here to, play the stalling crap and all that. He's in here to push the pace like I am, and I can guarantee you that this is going to be a hell of a match.
Let's go to the same question for Couch. What do you know about Hunter? What do you think about his style?
Pretty much the same thing he just said about mine. It's like a clone of a statement, just action packed, looking for the submission the whole time, not trying to go out there and bullshit. There's no need to bullshit. The fans are watching because the fans want to watch some jiu-jitsu and they want to watch some action. So that's what me and Hunter are going to do.
What else we got going on online?
Yeah, Jacob. After WNO championships, we talked briefly, but that must have been a huge confidence builder for you. How do you feel about being back on the Who's Number One match after potentially the biggest match of your life so far, obviously?
I think it actually, like, if anything, relieves a little bit of pressure, being such a monumental event in my life. Like the amount of like attention and just like prestige that event holds, and that I was able to place at it is like gives me a little bit of comfort in the spotlight, or in front of people, in front of the cameras, in front of like, just everybody watching my jiu-jitsu. Is like builds comfort and builds like a familiarity with it.
Hunter, obviously at the Who's Number One championships, he heel hooked Roberto. He almost heel hooked William Tackett, but you got some good heel hooks too. I saw you heel hook Cody Steele before. How do you think you match up if it turns into a leg lock shootout with Couch?
Yeah, I'm ready for it. I'm really good at taking the back off the leg entanglements. I've only been heel hooked once ever in my whole career, so I'm ready for that game. I want to see what he's got. All
right, Connor, we got anything else from the chat to ask before we get out of here?
Yeah, Couch, if you were to win this match, would you be looking at a Who's Number One title shot, or would you be interested in one?
Of course I would be interested in a title shot. What kind of question is that, man? No, I'm just playing, but that would be amazing, dude, to be able to go for the title. That's the goal. Everybody here wants to be the best. Everybody here wants to be the champion, so that would be fucking incredible.
All right, this will be the third and final prelim match of the evening. After that will be the main card only on FloGrappling.com. Up next, we have Mikey Musumeci and Richard Alarcon. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Mike.
right.
All right, this will be the first match of the main card. It's one of 3 title matches on the event for one of these ones here for a men's bantamweight 135-pound title. We got Mikey Musumeci, Darth Rigatoni himself. Am I
Oh,
right?
yeah.
What is this, like your fifth time on Who's Number One, maybe? Something like that?
It's like my 6th or 7th time.
Richard Alarcon making his debut on Who's Number One, but ADCC veteran, very accomplished. So first off, Richard, obviously Mikey, he's got a big name. You know, he's probably going to be the betting favorite in this thing. Do you feel like people are counting you out? Do you like playing the underdog? Like, how do you feel about that situation?
I love playing the underdog. I've been there most of my career, so it's nothing new for me. It's a great opportunity against someone game like Mikey. So definitely going to take full advantage of it.
All right, Mikey. So last month, big surprise when you went down first round. Mentally, how are you going to rebound from that on this match coming up?
Do I have to like talk close to it, or
You're good right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, just every competition for me, I'm just trying to compete with myself every month to see the best I could be. You know, I used to in the gi only have to be the best 1 month of the year. Now I'm just testing myself with the best people every month of the year. You know, it's been 8 months straight like this. So I'm just honored to fight Richard. He has awesome jiu-jitsu, and it's going to be such a test for me, you know. All these guys are such a test for me. So every month I'm here just testing myself. Win or lose, I'll just get better and then come back again. Some months I might suck more than others, but I'll just keep working hard until I get it right.
Richard, did you watch that Gabriel match? Do you think you saw anything there that you could use, or that?
I mean, me personally, I use my own game. I mean, obviously everyone has a couple different, aspects that they're a little better on than most. But, I mean, I'm just going to, do my game and see where that gets me.
All right, let's go over to Connor. I'm sure they got a lot of questions for this one. Connor, what's going on in the YouTube chat, the Discord?
Yeah, Mikey, I just want to start off with the two questions that I think are burning on everyone's minds.
Uh-oh.
Daisy Fresh? You're the newest member of Daisy
Okay.
Fresh? Well, what happened with that? Give us the story.
Man, so in jiu-jitsu and life, right, we try to meet people with the same energy as us. And then once you meet people with the same energy as us, like, you, like, cling together, right? So that's basically what happened with me and Heath and the guys in Daisy Fresh, you know? Like, we all have the same energy, we view jiu-jitsu the same, just, like, no fancy, like, politics or anything. We're just on the mats, like, having fun, just good vibes, you know? So it's a perfect fit, like, for both of us, and I'm super excited.
Awesome. Second question for you, Mikey. We're being told that there's a secret finishing move that you've come up with. Do we get any hint on what that may be?
I'm sorry, I can't.
Man.
I'm always trying to work out to try to figure out new things, you know. So it's awesome to like force myself to have like this like goal to hit something, you know. I don't know if I'll be able to hit it, but it's awesome. It's an awesome goal for me to work it, you know, and that makes me more excited to compete with like the high level people because how he'll shut it down will teach me a lot how I could get it better, or if I'm able to get it, that's awesome as well. But it's awesome because I came up with this move and I think that it's really gonna help people in the next generation. So we're here competing now, but we want to like inspire and help the next generation. So that's why it's awesome when we're developing and figuring out new moves.
Richard, are you aware of this? Did you see this post that Mikey says he's invented a move that he's going to use tomorrow?
No, I haven't. No.
How do you feel about that? That Mikey says he's got a never-before-seen move he's going to try to do in the move match
Oh
tomorrow.
man, I'm excited to see him attempt it. That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I am too. All right, Connor, we got any questions for Richard from the fans there?
Yeah, absolutely. Richard, obviously you've spent your whole career on big stages, but this is the first time on Who's Number One, and you're getting a chance for the strap right off the bat. What's that feel like to you? What's it mean to you, and also what's it mean to you to do that against Mikey Musumeci of all people?
Me personally, like you said, it's I've been on a good amount of platforms. It's nothing new for me. For me, there's really no pressure. I have nothing to lose. I'm going against best of the best, and that's kind of what we push ourselves to be able to do is compete against best of the best. But I'm definitely blessed with this opportunity to be able to compete with someone of his caliber, and I'm definitely gonna push as hard as I can to get that W.
Mikey, what's your status at these days with your journey into the dark side, the whole Darth Rigatoni thing? What's going on with you?
Man, 8 months in Nogi has changed me, I used to just be into like pajamas and just training the gi with grips and stuff. Now this dark side has changed me. I have a cool name. I'm just
Secret moves?
Yeah, secret moves, like just
Things
things
get
have
interesting.
changed. Things
Get
have
interesting.
changed.
All right, this will be the first match of the main card tomorrow. Mikey Musumeci going against Richard Alarcon for the bantamweight title. Make sure you tune in. Up next, we will have Levi Jones-Leary and Oliver Taza. All right, see you. right, this will be the second match of the main card. We got Levi Jones-Leary from Unity Jiu-Jitsu on my right, Oliver Taza from New Wave Jiu-Jitsu, now recently relocated to Austin on my left. So Taza, you've been on the event a few times, and you seem to have become sort of the gatekeeper from guys known as gi competitors. How do you feel about that you're welcoming Levi to who's number one this week?
I'm honored to be the gatekeeper. Guys want to come in to no gi, want to switch. That I'm the right person to kind of test the waters, I would say.
Levi, how do you feel about people like when fans or whatever will say like, oh, Levi competes more in the gi, does IBJJF, and they act like that's not going to transition over to here? What would you say to those people?
I mean, like, no, I get it, because there's been people that have come in and tried and have failed, but I have a really good coach, Melo Santana. Like, he can get you good at whatever, so I've been working hard like the last 6 months. I think like my game transitions well, so I guess like you just have to like wait and see, really. Like, you can't like say anything, you just have to show it, right? So that's what I'm trying to do.
Taz, apparently from this info I have here, you're the underdog for the odds makers for this thing. Do you think with all your who's number one experience, you think you're being overlooked here?
Listen, I'm always happy to be the underdog. I feel like at some point I will be favorite, but as of now, I'm not complaining. I'm happy. I'm happy to be underdog. I'm happy to, if anything, pull off the upset. It's always a better situation to be in, I feel. So I'm not complaining.
All right, let's go over to Connor with the fan questions. What do the fans on Discord and YouTube have for these guys?
We do got fan questions for you, but I think we have to address the elephant in the room. Levi, can you please explain the drip, the outfit? You got the heart glasses on. Give us a rundown of what's going on, man.
This is just like awesome custom drip, This is Xanadu God right here.
What does Xanadu? I see that's your Instagram name, Xanadu God. What is that?
Xanadu God, that's just like me sometimes, sort of the altar, the altar. Just like weird. Just a weird person, I guess. I don't know. So sometimes I go by Xanadu God, but if you ask me, like I'm Levi, but like if I'm performing, if I'm doing some sort of performance, I'm on the stage, if the lights are on me, then I'm Xanadu God. You feel? So yeah.
That may be the best answer we could ever get. Also, we keep seeing you drop freestyles, man, like on your Instagram. Has that always been a thing, or is that
Man, I've got type beats in the ear right now. Like I'm like in my head with it, all the time. Like for me, that stuff like is like a coping mechanism for me. Like when I'm stressed or I'm feeling some type of way. Like music has always been like an outlet for me, like that. So it's just like a coping mechanism. Everyone's got different coping mechanisms. It's just mine.
Awesome. And Tazo, we had recently just talked. You finished your move into Austin, Texas, like literally like today or yesterday. What's your training been like leading up to this? I know that can be a pretty complicated thing.
Training has been, a bit inconsistent, I would say, coming up. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to make stories up, especially on air. It's hard to lie without, trying to pull it off. It's been a bit inconsistent, I'm going to say, but even though the physical work wasn't done, the mental work has been done, the preparation's been done, I'm coming in with very good shape, very good conditioning. I got stuck in Canada coming back from Europe due to COVID restrictions. That didn't stop me from, keeping the preparation up. But definitely feeling very sharp and ready for it tomorrow.
All right, this is in the 170-pound welterweight division. That's one weight that we still have to have a champ. So this is probably going to play into who's going to end up getting that title shot. Oliver Taza having your fourth match on who's number one, maybe. Yeah. Going against Levi, making his debut. Me and Levi both got alter egos, both got cool sunglasses. Fucking love it. Xanadu and Hollywood Mike. You're cool too, Taza. All right. Up next, we will have the co-main event: Fionn Davis and Natalie Ribeiro.
Okay.
All right, this is our co-main event of the main card. It's one of 3 title matches on the event. The women's flyweight title. This will be the first time there's a champion in this weight. On my right, Fionn Davis. And I'm saying that right. I know everybody's going to say it's
Yes.
Davies. It's Davis. Fionn Davis. Natalie Libero on my left. Natalie, it's your second time on Who's Number One. It's been a little bit over a year since you were on here when you beat Louisa. How you feeling going into this match with Fionn?
I'm very happy to be back. Yeah, it's very nice to be part of this event again. I love competing here, so yes.
All right, and
I'm
Fionn.
excited.
Fionn, I know you've been, stuck over in the UK, unable to get over here. We were finally able to get you over here to do a match. How excited are you to be making your debut on Who's Number One and to be fighting for the title on the event?
Oh, I'm just so happy to be able to compete again. It's been ages. But yeah, especially on a show as well. That'll be really cool. Yeah, I'm happy.
So, Natalie, you guys have 3 times, I believe, right? And she won.
All 3.
Oh, 3. What do you think is going to be different? What have you changed that things can be different this time around?
I don't know. I feel that I improved at least my no-gi. First time we fought, it was in a no-gi, and it was my first year as a black belt, and her as well. But I haven't. That time, I wasn't training a lot in no-gi, so I feel that after 2018, 19, 20, 21, 3 years, I've been improved a lot in my no-gi. So let's see how it goes.
All right, let's go to Connor over there with the fan questions. We got any questions for the girls online?
Yeah, Fionn, they had a question specifically. They've been seeing you train. I know some things we've been posting, some things, you and Nikki Rod have been posting. Is there a chance that you will make B Team a new home by chance?
No. It's really good there, and I really like the training. But no, East Coast is my gym. Like, I've got lots of friends, lots of good people there. They're very good.
Awesome. How bad did you beat up on Nikki Rod over there?
Obviously, I smashed it.
Yeah.
Obviously. I had to go very light.
And Natalie, what do you think has changed in your training and in your jiu-jitsu since the last time you competed on the Who's Number One stage?
I feel that I'm more comfortable in no-gi. I was kind of scared because of heel hooks and everything, so I had to train at least the defenses. So I feel that I'm kind of getting used to the legs, locks, attacks. So yeah, I kind of feel more comfortable training, and let's see how it's gonna be in competition.
I'm shit at heel hooks anyway, don't worry.
Oh, good.
Fucking
I'm
awful,
still
like-
training for the defense. Is not doing very well, but I'm glad to hear that.
Connor, we got any questions in there before we move on?
No, I don't think we do.
All right, this is going to be a banger. It's going to be a hell of a match, a flyweight title match. Natalie Libero versus Fionn Davis in the co-main event tomorrow night on Who's Number One. Up next, we will have Bia Mesquita and Luisa Montero. All right, this will be the main event of the main card, the last match under Who's Number One rules. As I said earlier, this is all brought to you by Fat Tire Beer. Go out and get some Fat Tire Beer. Enjoy this event. But this is going to be a bantamweight title match, 135 pounds. On my right, Beatriz Mesquita. On my left, Luisa Montero. So it's a big-time match, 2 legends of the sport. How many times have you guys gone against each other, Luisa?
I have no idea.
Lost the count.
Probably more than 15 or 20. Like we fought a lot.
Yeah.
Before.
All right, so Bia, this is your first time on Who's Number One. You've been watching the events and stuff, and what do you think about the event? And how are you feeling going into this match tomorrow?
I think the event's like very nice, like very clean rules. Like it's make more exciting. just like chasing the submission, controlling the fight, like putting on some like really good like jiu-jitsu show, So I'm really excited and ready for tomorrow.
Louisa, somebody told me that, have you guys never gone against each other no gi? Has it always been gi?
I think we fought like no gi in like probably 2012.
Okay.
Maybe, yes, and back then.
How do you think things are different between you guys no gi? Obviously, B is a ADCC champ and everything, but it's like, how do you think you guys match up in a no gi format as compared to all the gi matches you've had?
That's what I think it's gonna be really exciting because we most like fight in the gi the last times that we fought. So I think like we can say that we never had like a fight in this rule set against each other in a no gi. So I'm really excited for that. I think it's gonna be good, something new.
Different, yeah.
Yeah.
Bia, you get very excited. You got a very submission-oriented style. What do you think the fans can expect from this match tomorrow?
Nothing less. They already use it to see chasing the submission, like going forward, like fighting hard. I'm sure the mat's gonna be on fire against Luisa, as always.
Yeah.
All right, let's go over to Connor, see if the fans online have any questions for the girls. You got any questions for them?
Yeah, Louisa, you've been on the Who's Number One match before. What from that match did you learn about the rule set and how you need to play your game? And what has changed in your training from that time to now?
I learned a lot from that fight, and actually, like for that fight, like I trained, but I kind of like took the gi off, and we know that like nowadays, and especially like in different rule set, we can't do this anymore. For me, like I am facing no gi now as a new sport, as something new. So when I decided to accept the match, I started like thinking, going to the gym and like thinking, okay, I'm a white belt, and I'm gonna go there like to learn the new techniques, all the rule sets, and to do like something different. It's not in the gi, so I took the gi off and I start like a new sport, which is like make me feel a lot motivated for this fight, because it's something for me. It's gonna be something new. It's gonna be different from that fight for sure.
Awesome. Bia, we got a question for you as well. You've
Sure.
been through pretty much every rule set you can imagine. You've done IBJJF, you've ruled at ADCC. What's exciting about the Who's Number One rule set, and why are you excited to get the belt?
Something new, a new title. That's the most exciting thing, a new belt, new title. But pretty much, I think the rules, Who's Number One, make it more simple for me, for my fight style. That's the way I like to fight, like forward, chasing the submission, unstoppable, and make like even a little longer, like 15 minutes, make it even more exciting, because you have more time to chase the submission, to keep fighting forward. So I think that's like you want make it better to my gameplay. It's because like it makes things more simple for the way I fight. I was forward.
Oh. We got another question for you, Bia. So we got two women's matches on the docket this time around. If Fionn wins and you win, how do you think that rematch between you two would go under Who's Number One rules?
Not 125 though, 100% sure. But that would be like really exciting. I'm sure you're gonna face each others at some point. I think we still like fighting against her. It's still like 3-1 to me. So it's always exciting fighting against her. She's one girl that came like all the way to the top, like fighting hard, like really good no-gi improvements. So I'm sure we can have like that rematch, and I'm sure the fans are anxious for that. I'm excited to have that too, but yeah, whenever I'm ready.
And Louisa, the same question for you with Natalie.
Yeah, I like to think more about like the fight tomorrow, but like if I can get the chance to have a rematch against Natalie, it would be great for sure. She's a really great athlete, like really strong, like really aggressive, and I know that it's gonna be a great fight anyway. Like even like between all of us, because we all have almost like the same style. Like we always go for the submission, we always go like hard, aggressive. So like I think a matchup between all of these four girls, like it would be like amazing.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, after tomorrow night, we're going to have our first ever bantamweight champion on who's number one in the female division. It's going to be either Bia Mesquita or Luisa Montero. Make sure you tune in for this. Up next, we have Gordon Ryan and Philip Rowe. All right, we got a special exhibition match going down tomorrow night between Philip Rowe, Philly Fresh, UFC fighter, Gordon Ryan, ADCC champ, and his cowboy gear recently relocated to Austin. First off, Gordon, why don't you explain what this is that you got here?
So, I heard a song that goes, "The champ is here." Dun, 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 dun. I'm like, okay, Phil's here. So then I'm like looking around, I see him, and he comes in, we say hi, and then he puts us on the floor, and I've seen these before on his Instagram and stuff, and I look at it, and then I went to go sit down, and I look at it a second time, and I'm like, holy shit, like, that's Big Gordon the thing. And then he like started showing it to me. I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. Like, one of the best gifts I ever got, hands down.
Yeah, shout out to Philly Fresh hooking up Gordon with the bump box and
sure,
probably the all-time greatest Who's Number One weigh-ins entrance.
I was telling him he has to get you one. So you just rock it on every your intro to the show.
I got a little chain. I got a little chain one. It's on my desk out
there. He was telling me.
Yeah. I got to get one of these big ones though. But got to get big like Gordon to carry that thing around. What is it? 25 pounds or something?
I don't know. I weighed in at 275. So
I think it's like 30 pounds.
All right, Phil. How do you feel about Gordon's new attire, his new cowboy drip that he's got going on?
It's festive. You know what I mean? You're in Texas, why not? You know.
Gordon, so why don't you explain to people why you wanted to do an exhibition match coming back?
Because my tummy ache is too upset right now to do real matches to fight the best guys. I could do it, to be honest. I feel like it's unprofessional for me to show up and have matches against the best guys in the world and not give 100% of what I'm capable of. And on top of that, now I actually know what's wrong with my stomach after 4 years of not knowing, and I have the treatment. So I'm gonna, treat this and then see how it goes, and hopefully I get better. And then it's hard to fly to doctors and fly around the country talking to doctors and do treatments and this and that when you're in the middle of all these big camps. So I think an exhibition is a great way to, number one for me, just stay active. Regardless of whether or not it counts as a real match, getting underneath those lights and in front of the crowd is always, always has an impact on you as an athlete, regardless of who you're competing against, just getting out on the competition stage. And it's just a way for me to have fun out there, to show the fans some of the new things I've been working on, and to give the fans a show. That's ultimately what I'm here for. I'm here to give the fans a show.
Yeah, Phil, you seem pretty excited when I explain the rules to you because it's like you can go out there and take risks, right? You can go out there and really take chances when there's no winner. If you get tapped, whatever, you just keep going, just like rolling in the gym, right? What do you like about this format?
I mean, I train with some of the best guys on the planet, so they're all human, The best guys in the world tap in the gym. The best guys in the world get tired. So the cool thing about the 15-minute rule set is I can just keep pushing the pace. This motherfucker can tap me a million times, but when we slap and bump, I'm gonna keep coming. So as long as that clock is going, I'm gonna keep coming. So for me, it's like, why not? Why not compete against the best guy to grapple? Why not? If you're for me, a guy who fights MMA, I watch these guys in the grappling world. It blows my fucking mind that they don't step up and everyone isn't lined up to compete. Like, why talk? Like, you don't have the possibility to get elbowed in the fucking head. Like, if you are the best grappler, go out there and prove it, you know? If he's the best guy, go out there and go after the best guy. Why not, you know? So I don't have anything to lose from this but to get better, you know? No one in the UFC is going to be grappling at his level. Anyone after this isn't going to feel like Gordon Ryan Paul's. So it's going to be a growing experience for me. Win, lose, or draw, I'm going out there from start to finish to fucking bring it to him, you know, do the best I can.
So Gordon, obviously you were notorious your last couple matches with us and going out and giving like how the envelope that had your submission. You were very like, do you have a plan going out, like what you're planning to show in this 15 minutes?
Well, after this bump box, I pretty much feel like I have to just get submitted over and over again to make it fair.
Just like Phil beat your ass for 15 minutes.
Yeah, but no, I don't really have a plan. For me, it's just I think dynamic movement is what the fans want to see. I think movement makes a match interesting. I think static positions are the things that fans don't want to see. So I think a lot of dynamic movement with a high pace. And for me, I think that people want to see me in positions that they don't normally see me in. I think it's been, 3 years since anyone's like passed my guard or done anything offensive to me. So I think cycling through a bunch of positions, both offensively and defensively, will be very interesting for the fans as far as spectating goes.
All right, let's kick it over to Connor with the fan questions. I'm sure they got a lot of questions for these guys. Go ahead, Connor.
They definitely do. Phil, we can start it off with you, but it is a question for both guys.
Copy.
How many submissions do you predict scoring on the other guy?
Shit. I mean, Gordon gives me his back, I'm subbing him. So if he gives me his back 4 times, I'm subbing him 4 times. So if he lets me body triangle and get his back, I'm subbing him. So shit, we'll see, man. Fuck, we'll see. If he gives me his back, I'm subbing him. Fuck it.
Love it. Same thing for you, Gordon.
I hope what happens is I just released my escape video from the back. I hope he body triangles me, and I just cannot get out. I'm just stuck for 15 minutes in the body triangle, and no one buys the instructional. I don't really know, to be honest. The chances of him submitting me are actually pretty high if I put myself in bad spots and actually let him lock submissions, or if he gets to a good spot and he gets me in like a fully locked submission. They're hard to get out of, no matter how many times you've been there or who it is. I don't really have a plan for how much I'm trying to submit him. I think just flowing through the match and taking it as it comes is what my plan will be.
Awesome. Phil, do you mind? We heard obviously the breakdown of you coming in with the boombox, greatest WNO walk-in ever.
Thank you.
What was the thought process behind that gift?
I don't know, man. Like there's no agenda for me, no clout chasing for me. I would have done it if there's no cameras here. To me, I don't care if you like the guy, if you are on point with his political views or whatever he thinks about anything outside of what he does. He is amazing at what he does, and that's grapple at the highest level. And if you're a jiu-jitsu practitioner and you respect the sport, you got to respect him as a competitor. He's arguably the best no-gi competitor to live. So just for him allowing me to share this platform with him, I'm appreciative of it, I'm going to go out there and give the best I got, So I have a business in Bump Box Orlando, and I have an opportunity to do something unique. Why not,
Awesome. Gordon, we got more people in the comments section. They ask about it all the time, and I think this is maybe their chance to get their voice heard. They want to know more about the split. What can you tell us about it?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, the split is made to stay in-house between the two teams. That agreement has been broken a couple of times, but I'm sticking to the agreement.
Heard. All right, comment section. Stop asking me. Also, between this match and being an exhibition match and a regular main event, where everything's on the line, what's your preparation like, and how does it differ between the two?
For me, I don't do camps as seriously for like exhibitions as I would for like an ADCC World Champion or a big tournament, because there's no inherent risk when you're doing an exhibition and submissions don't count. Like for EBI, for example, or ADCC, you have to practice that rule set. But here, it's basically just like an intense gym roll. So there's not a specific camp working on specific things here. It's more just about building skills throughout the whole camp, and then going out and showcasing what you've been working on.
I think the same question is good for Phil. Like, how do you change things up from when you're training for a UFC fight compared to doing something like this?
For this, what I did was I trained with a lot of good grapplers. I trained with Jacare Souza. I trained with Rodolfo Vieira. And they both like, hey, Phil, how can we help you prepare? And I'm like, to be honest, give me the best you got. You know, these guys are both multiple-time world champions. So I don't really train 15-minute rounds. And the first time I competed out there versus Cody Steele, it was different. And I never had to be competitive for 15 minutes. So, like, in the gym, no matter what, I've rolled for 10-minute rounds, but it's never like, fuck it, I'm going to lose. You know what I mean? So when I was out there, when I started to get a little lackadaisy, I was like, no, Phil, like, if this guy submits you, you lose. You know what I mean? So it was a little different dynamic. So for the past 3 weeks, what I would do is I would keep my normal training, and I would do 2 15-minute rounds in addition to my normal training. So I would do 30 minutes of continuous rolling. So I would do 5 minutes with my head coach, and then Rodolfo would jump right in, 10 minutes straight. I get 3-minute rest, 5 minutes, 10 minutes Jacare, and it's just fucking them submitting me as many times as they can, and me just being used to being comfortable being uncomfortable, you know? So, and it's a good dynamic with the two. Jacare is like high pace submissions. He's just constantly going, and Rodolfo just fucking glues you to the floor. So I just added that in and kept doing what I'm doing, you know?
Gordon, so Spriggs won the heavyweight division at the Who's Number One Championship and has mentioned you a couple times since then. What do you have to say about that situation to Tim Spriggs?
If Tim Spriggs was smart, he would just retire. I think he's very short-sighted here. I think he's just looking for a paycheck to compete against me. But his brand would make him way more money if he just retired and never competed again, because the stars are never going to align for him again. Like he got. I mean, it couldn't have been a more perfect night for Tim Spriggs. So if I was him, he retired once from competition. I would just retire again and then just use that competition to just brand himself and make money off of that. But if he competes against me, he's going to be right back where he was before the competition.
Are you coming out to country music tomorrow?
No, people are going to make fun of me because I'm not a real Texan for this, but I actually never got into country music. I'm coming out to Sympathy for the Devil.
All right. How about you?
Rolling Stones.
Phil, if you get the first sub tomorrow night, you just going to run off the mat and quit while you're ahead? What's the plan?
You fucked it up, but 100%. Like,
just fake an injury.
I was just gonna leave. But no, like I said, I'm there to level up. You know, I'm there to be in there for 15 minutes and feel those different exchanges, see what it's like, you know, to compete against one of the best guys on the planet. So I'll be ready for sure.
All right, I can't wait to see this one. All 8 matches on this card are going to be fire. It's a bunch of fun matchups, but this one I think is going to be a show. These guys are going out there to try and put on a show. They got nothing to lose. Exhibition match between Philly Fresh, Philip Rowe, Gordon Ryan. Shout out to the Big Gord Bump Box. All right, make sure you tune in at 8 o'clock Eastern Wednesday night.